What's up, guys? In today's video, I want to make something a bit different. I want to talk to one of the best Lucarios, or maybe even the best Lucario player in the world from Blackhand, who won the North American Championships. They're playing in the World Championship in 2 weeks as well. Hello, Overlord. Glad that you are talking to me right now. So do you actually think you're the best Lucario in the world?
I definitely consider myself up there for probably at least like top 3. I feel like there's a couple others from NA, most notably OG was taken, who is on the second place team in NA, and then you have some really good Lucarios from like EU and Japan.
Is there
I
like
haven't
anyone
really had
from
too
Europe or
much.
Japan? You didn't watch them? Okay, have you like anyone from Europe and A that's like,
Yeah,
or Japan that is like, wow, this guy is very good. I'm looking forward to playing against him.
for sure. I think Random's top laner. He's one that I was looking at. He seems really good in lane.
So Redmore,
Also
yeah.
Ape's top laner, Klaus too. Yeah,
Yeah, the
with very good
European.
Lucarios.
Do you think Japan and Korea have like scary Lucario players, or are they more like, you know, they play anything, doesn't really known for their Lucarios?
I don't really follow the scene as closely, but I've definitely seen like their clips on Twitter and stuff. They look pretty nice.
Yeah, I mean, they play on mobile,
Love to
right? You
see
play
one
on
see
Switch,
person.
right? You play on Switch?
Yeah, yeah,
So it's a bit of a
yeah. I
different
play on
thing.
Switch.
Okay. Also recently, so there's always this big debate between power punch and e-speed, and of course you're one of the known extreme speed Lucario players. Is there any reason you just still prefer it, or you're also switching more to power punch lately?
Well, I just preferred E-Speed because I really liked its play style. But
Yeah.
with like the nerfs over time, it feels like it's kind of obsolete now. So I've mainly been focusing on Pup, but I think E-Speed's still a pretty good option.
Let's also talk about like what is your current build? What do you like? What do you play for hit items? Maybe emblem builds? Because I think Lucario is something that has okay emblems, but nothing too crazy.
Yeah. So my main build that I use on both E-Speed and Pup is attack rate, muscle, weakness policy. I think like those 3 items combined just a really good combination for whichever moveset you want to go. And
Mm-hmm.
for emblems, the current emblem set I'm using is 6 brown and 4 white. And then I try to fill out the white emblems with and the orange emblems with as much HP and crit as I can.
Okay. Yeah, that seems to be pretty much the way to go, I think. I've been also trying that.
Yeah.
And
For sure.
besides that, I know, like, OG was taken as an example, plays close combat. I'm not a big fan of ESP close combat in any ways. Do you think that's, like, something you also play sometimes, or do you just go for the bone rush?
I think close combat has its situations where it can be pretty good. It really depends on like the enemy team comp.
Mm-hmm. All right, and let's talk about Worlds a bit. I mean, that's the thing that comes up in 2 weeks. Which, like, team do you look, you know, forward the most of playing against, or do you think, you know, it's going to be one of your big... I mean, you're one of the big favorites going to this tournament, I'm pretty sure. So who do you think,
Yeah.
you know, is going to rival you for the championship?
I think definitely Random's gonna be up there for one of our biggest rivals, but I think there's gonna be some like pretty good teams from like Asia and OCE even maybe where that could really surprise us in the finals. So
Mm-hmm. But you confident in your group?
yeah, I'm pretty confident in our group. I think we have a decently hard group, but I think we should be pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, I think so too, for sure. And back to Lucario, so in general as well, like, have you always played Lucario? Is it just something you, like, I mean, everyone has to play Lucario, right? Since the beginning of the game, he's been one of the best Pokemon in the game. Is just something you were forced to play, or did you actually just, you know, like him from day one on?
It's something that I eventually switched to. I used to be
Okay.
a team that I was playing on at the time, be the Lucario, so I ended up switching to top.
Okay. So you played something like different at the beginning, but then you just, yeah, only played
Yeah,
Lucario, and then I just played Lucario for like half a year, pretty much.
yeah, pretty much.
I mean, at least it's a fun Pokemon, right? You know, you can't really get bored of him. How do you feel like Lucario
Oh
currently
yeah, for
competitive?
sure.
Do you think he's like still very, very strong, or you know, is there something else where like, yeah, Serena? You know, you also played off Serena. Is there like any preference right now? Of course, you don't have to go too much into detail of like when you pick what, but like, is there, you know, something you like more in Serena right now than Lucario? Because I feel like Lucario can be pretty hard to play sometimes currently.
Yeah, for sure. I think I really like the balance of top lane right now, personally, because it used to just be like really one-sided with being the definitive best. But right now, I think there's multiple options. Like you can pick top, whether it's like Machamp, Serena, Aegis
Mhm.
slash even now. There's a lot of options you get to pick in top lane now, and it's really just like matchup dependent, honestly.
Yeah. So do you enjoy playing top lane? Do you think it's
Yeah,
enjoyable? I think it's not something for
top
everyone as
lane.
well.
It's in competitive, the normal meta is about like 1-1-3 right now. I
Mhm.
think the aspect of just the so like 1v1 lane is really fun. So
Yeah, being able to just outscale right on last hits, and in general, just if you have like a bit of smarter rotations, right, or last setting, or
yeah, yeah.
how you do your early game. can always get decently ahead. But yeah, what else about the World Championship? I mean, again, you said known esports is probably, or random gaming, no known esports, they're called, is probably your biggest rival or something. Which other region, like Japan, Korea, which one do you think? Like, do you think Japan has something up their sleeves? I mean, for sure, right?
Yeah, for sure. I was looking at a couple of Japan VODs from their finals. Their strats are definitely a lot different than ours.
Yeah.
They have their merits for sure.
Like the Cramorant, I think they're pretty known for. I don't know if they're going to play it,
Yeah,
but that's something I feel like Europe and North America never really looked into. I think Europe and A had pretty similar meta, I would say. And is there like any
yeah.
dark horse? A dark horse. I know you said you don't really have watched most of the regions sometimes, but is there like any team where you like India or Brazil that you think might have a good run at, getting top 4 or maybe even winning this?
Uh, Honestly, I used to. There's a lot of people, including me. I used to think OC wasn't like the best region, but like look at their VODs now and like looking at the teams like one. I actually think OC does a decent job like getting out of groups and placing
Oh,
pretty high.
that's interesting. So yeah, respecting the OC, I think that's fair.
Yeah.
And I mean, yeah. So in this game I'm watching right now, you played against IX Gaming in the finals. You actually went for Power Punch as well. Was any just reason because like you were feeling just this just feels better Power Punch this time around, or your team was more about objective focusing? Like, is there like a reason? Do you just decide with your team together if you go E-Speed or Power Punch, or is it like a safe decision?
It's more so like a team decision. Like it depends on like what we want to play for. If we want to play for like team fights, and in
Hmm.
that game we're more. I'm pretty sure we're more focused on objectives. So
Yeah,
objectives here with pub.
but you're also fully confident on the Power Punch, right? There's like
Yeah,
nothing
for
you're too
sure.
worried about. It's just extreme speed is
Yeah,
just, so much more fun to play in
yeah,
general.
definitely.
Do you think it still deserves a nerf, or are you thinking, they shouldn't kill LUCARIO?
um, I don't really think LUCARIO needs a nerf right now at the moment.
Hmm.
I think it's pretty decent in the meta, like as compared to like other top laners. I think if you were to nerf a top laner, I could maybe see like another Serena nerf being justified.
Oh
Honestly,
yeah, Serena's Serena's a bit. And just like one last
yeah.
question for this before we also jump into some gameplay in a second. Like he's gonna show us some Lucario gameplay and explain it a bit. Like is there one Pokemon you would like to be playing that we like you wish that was stronger you could play on top lane? Like any Pokemon?
Um, I mean, I kind of wish Garchomp could have been a little
Gotcha.
stronger. I think Garchomp's really fun, but its early game is really bad, so
Yeah, no last
it's
setting.
kind of hard to get going.
I guess Lucario just bullies everything.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's very, very difficult. Just one last thing as well. If you like approach a Zapdos fight with extreme speed, like how do you think that happens? Do you wait first for people to go in? Do you look for something on your own? Because I think that's where Lucario maybe struggles the hardest on extreme, like on Zapdos team fights with extreme speed.
Yeah, so I think with a bit larger team fights, the most important thing if you're playing eSpeed card is to try to bait abilities. So whether that means like trying to go in and like get out really quickly, but like baiting like CC abilities that can like stop you or like completely like shut you down from like being able to do what you want to do, right? But
Yeah.
if you can like bait those abilities and get them out before you like decide to like all in, like you'll have a lot more success.
So now we're jumping into some gameplay. There's Overlord as well. This is a BOD from a stream. We're gonna go score over. You also switched to extreme speed lately. Is there any reason for it? Is this because everyone plays X speed?
Yeah, X speed is really nice. You get level 4 gank by the junglers and get like really sticky situations.
Hmm. So just like better early game, right? Just
Yeah,
helps you
better
just
early game
get
and
away.
honestly, I think X speed might be better late game than Kobe.
So just an answer to like, the level 4 ganks, right? You're getting level 4
Yeah,
ganks,
yeah,
you get back early, getting contested, so you just don't really die and lose too much. Yeah, it's quite
yeah.
interesting. So you can just lead me through this early game if you want. Like, what do you play? How do you want to play it? Because I think a lot of people don't really play competitive Lucario too much. It's like something completely different, right? So
Yeah. So leading into lane mainly, our main goal is like we want to full clear all the APOMs, but mainly your main objective in lane phase, I would say, is try to get like as many stacks as possible. So as you can see, I'm gonna contest the mid crap here. Lucario is gonna go top side as whatever, right? But
mhm.
I actually let me think what I did here. All right, yeah. So I wanna. So normally I'm there's this is kind of a weird lane. There's not normally a in.
Yeah,
You
2v2.
normally see that in the bot lane, but so if you were to get to like 2-2, is my recommendation is that if you have 8 points, you want to run past the mid crab because if you end up getting the mid crab with the Hoopa in your lane, you won't be able to score those 11 points because Hoopa will be able to stop you. But if you're at 8 points, you can still score through the Hoopa's auto attacks and then end up clearing the enemy's 8 bombs.
Yeah, this top lane is like a lot about just, you know, like both Lucarios try to just somehow get an edge of the other Lucario, right? So
Yeah,
it can turn out into very weird things. Now you're level 5 for the first bees, and I mean, yeah, you're just gonna, you know, run over them. If the enemy Lucario is not level 5, they obviously have no chance. And there's also the Meteor Mesh combo. You just try to do that every single time, and you do it so fast. Do you actually like aim those extreme speed, or do you just auto aim, or like how do you use your extreme speed?
yeah, I know. So I have kind of a weird setting on. I normally aim my E speeds with my left stick as opposed to right stick,
Mm-hmm.
which it just
That's
felt
what
more
I do as
natural for me
well.
at the time.
That's
Yeah, yeah.
Do you still do that right now?
It
So that's
just
what you do right now. You aim with your left
yeah,
stick.
yeah. That's what I do right
Okay,
now.
great.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Do similar thing. And this extreme speed meteor mesh combo is also something you do every single time. You can.
yeah.
Like
It's
right
such a
here.
good like combo for securing farm early game. Like if you're doing it and the enemy Lucario isn't, you're gonna get pretty much every farm in lane.
Yeah, we can already see a huge lead right now going into this early game. And when you get to level 7 already, do you stage fight? You be like, I'm happy now, I can go for maybe a dread fight, or do you are like, I can maybe actually get level 9 at this point? What do you?
So at this point, I'm mainly trying to deny the enemy Lucario getting stacks and trying to get level 7 himself, so I can keep that like move advantage over him.
Alright. This is some very clean extreme speed, very fast. And we have bee spawning as well. I mean, now you can pretty much get to level 9, right? You're just diving this. There's also the
Yeah, yeah.
extreme speed bone rush combo. I mean, that's something Lucario players that want to play Lucario have to learn, right? Would you recommend
Yeah.
that as much as you can? Is it something you can pull off every single time, or is it like very
Uh,
difficult to make it perfectly happen?
yeah. I'd say you could, if you with enough practice, it just becomes muscle memory. You can pretty much
Yeah.
95% of the time you're trying to do it.
Mm-hmm. But you would, I mean, yeah, it's just such a strong combo. In case you guys don't know, you can pretty much override the extreme speed animation or the bone rush animation with an auto attack at the end. And now you're just diving into all of them. Like going into team fight, what is your, like you said it as well, you want to like bait enemy moves outright as much as you can.
Yeah.
But also obviously
Try
you have
to
to
get
not go
them.
to, yeah. But if they're this grouped up, you
Yeah.
just like zoom through them. Doesn't really matter who
Yeah.
you focus,
Exactly.
right?
You see a good opportunity where they're clumped up, it's definitely you gotta take it.
There we go. There's the bone rush ESP combo. You can see it right there. Can go back a bit as well, just in case you haven't. Okay, I mean, you're just going very ham right now.
Yeah.
And these are just so fast. Do you actually aim really all of these? Yes, you're just
Yeah.
going so ham. That is very impressive. That's very impressive. But it's just like, Lucario is a Pokemon you just have to practice a crazy amount, right? Oh my god.
Yeah, for sure. It's just more of like a Lucario. I think is like one of the Pokemon in this game that you definitely just have to put time. And with time, like you'll see results for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But it's definitely one of the most satisfying to win.
Is there any other tips you like have for maybe an aspiring Lucario player?
I would say probably like if you're starting to like learn off Lucario, don't expect like the best results, right? I think right now Lucario in the meta is like in solo queue it's kind of like I'd say around like A to B tier right now, but it's definitely I think the hardest character in the game. If you just keep putting in the work, don't get like this like unmotivated if you're like not seeing results because it just takes time. But
Yeah.
eventually, like I think everybody can get to this level, if they put in the time.
Mm-hmm. What I think is like the main difference between like playing it in solo queue and like in a team.
Solo queue, I'd say you probably would like to play more greedy with all the farm and stuff. Like in 5 stacks, I'm trying to give my attacker to try to get them fed as well. But in solo queue, like you're the only reliable player that
Right.
you can count on, right? So
So you just want
it's
to be
mainly
very
just about
aggressive.
playing for yourself. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Just very, very aggressive. Even though, I mean,
I
you're
think
just very aggressive, but you're so far ahead. If you're this far ahead, you just keep going. And I think this time you might die.
I think I ended up
Yeah.
dying here. Yeah.
So this was like a bit of a solo queue moment, I guess. But I
Yeah,
mean, in
yeah,
the
a
end,
little
you
bit.
kind of, you still have a hoop. Nah, I don't think you're going to come back for this in time. You also
Yeah, I
sometimes get a
mean,
bit overconfident. I mean, I think Lucario is like
yeah,
a Pokemon
yeah,
similar
for
to
sure.
Serena, where like if you're winning the game, you just want to keep going. Like there's just, you can't stop, right? If you're ahead, you have to
Yeah,
keep going and going and going. I mean, similar to
like the
Serena.
adrenaline rush.
You feel the same there as well?
Yeah, for sure.
And you don't
Yeah,
have
yeah,
like these
for
insane
sure.
damage numbers. What are you writing there on the board?
I think this is from one of my streams. So I'm pretty sure I'm writing the names of the subs on
Ah,
our
okay, a
whiteboard.
whiteboard. I was like, oh, maybe it's just something you have to write down because you just ran it down.
Nah.
There's a note like, maybe not be overconfident next time. And as well, like, of course it's nice to be level 14 or 15, right? But I guess level 13 will always be the main goal, right? That's like when extreme speed is
Yeah.
absolutely massive as well. In case you guys don't know, Bone Rush porting to it completely resets the extreme speed, so you can have a lot of mana on the same target. And it just allows
Yeah,
you for
absolutely.
insane burst damage and mobility. So when the game is looking this good though, like when you're level 14, do you just like try to calm down a bit now, or do you just gonna keep pressuring them and hope that they, you know, make them surrender vote?
Uh, at this point, you can pretty much just chill. Like you have their top tier 2 outer broken. They're level 14. If you kill them, you're not really gonna gain too much XP. It's just you mainly want to play safe and make sure you don't die. Because if you die, you're gonna give them a ton of levels. But as you can see here, I'm just
You're having fun, yeah, I mean, they're so far ahead.
yeah, I'm just having fun here. But
So what do you think, like, when you fall a bit behind this Lucario compared to the other Lucario? What do you think is, like, a way of coming back into the game if you're just a bit behind? Like, cause I think playing Lucario from behind is pretty difficult, right?
yeah, for sure. I think if you're from behind Lucario, your best advantage is probably to try to split push like off lanes from objectives that are spawning. So like the Dreadnought spawning in bot lane, and you don't think you're strong enough to like try to fight with the Dreadnought, I'd recommend just going clearing all the farm top lane, scoring, getting your attack rate stacks, all this stuff to just get you back into the game.
And, like, if you're behind, you think it's totally fine, right? Just getting 2-3 Odinos from their side and dying for it. That's, like,
Yeah,
if you had a
yeah,
score
for
as well,
sure.
right? That's totally fair. So just try your best to get back into the game with those, like, split pushing. Yeah, I think that's pretty fair. 20 kills in this game right now. And looking for the Zapdos fight. Do you, like, try to pick out a target that you want to focus in a team fight, or do you just, like, go with the flow?
I normally just see who's like mispositioned really. If you see like any squishy targets like high priority mispositioned, I definitely like my highest priority to try to jump on. But also when I'm going in, it's like
Oh
trying
my
to force
god.
like important abilities like Blissey ult and stuff. Like if you can get like Blissey ult out and escape for free, that's such high value for me.
I think what I noticed in your play is, like, what I think makes you a good Lucario player is because you're not scared, right? Do you think that's something
Yeah,
like a Lucario player needs, not be scared? Because you just, like, you
yeah,
just
for
don't
sure.
care, you just go in, you're just very, very confident in all your moves. Is there something like a good Lucario player has to have?
Yeah, for sure. I think aggression, like confidence, is definitely something that you want to. I feel like again, that's just something you develop over time. A lot of this comes from limit testing, is what I call it. I'm just
Yeah.
repeatedly going in, trying to find.
That's the Lucario practice, right? Like in solo queue, just go so aggressive that you understand your limits at some point, right? Yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
that makes sense. All right, let me check. I mean, I think that's pretty much it. 148,000 damage in this game. We can see Overlord is very happy in the bottom corner. But yeah, thank you for this interview. I thought it was very insightful and interesting. Hope you enjoyed it as well. And if you want to shout out your Twitch channel, feel free to, your Twitter, where people can find you.
Yes. So I'm just Overlord 98 TV on Twitch, and on Twitter I'm also Overlord 98 TV. Those are my two main socials I use. But
All right, great. Well, good luck at the World Championship and have a good one.
yeah, appreciate it.